Hey everybody, how you doing today? Mike Iaconelli out in the shop with all the craze and trend toward spybait fishing. I want to show you how to make your own custom soft spybait. This is a technique I've been using for years, and I traditionally called it the no motion minnow, but now there's also a spybait version to this. So I want to show you how to make it. It's real easy. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a jig head. Pick your favorite jig head. I'm using the VMC wacky jig head. It's the Ike approved wacky jig head. And I like, when I'm using this soft spybait technique, I like to use a little bit lighter jig heads. I like the 16th ounce, 32nd ounce, or the 1/8 ounce head. And if you look at it, it's a real traditional style wacky jig head. So we're going to start with your jig head. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some components to this jig head to make it a soft spybait. And you can go to any of the supply catalogs, Lorecraft catalogs, and they sell all these components. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get what I call a nose cone, and they sell these things in different sizes. So you can go ahead and get one to whatever size fits your jig head. But a nose cone is basically just a little, kind of like a little metal washer. And you could probably use a regular washer. This one's cone shaped, and I want to put this thing on the jig head to act as a spacer between the front of the jig head and the blade. So I'm just going to put it on so that the cone of it faces back toward the hook. Okay, so we're gonna add our little nose cone or washer. Next thing we're going to get is our blade. Same thing. All those Lorecraft catalogs sell blades. You can get them in different sizes, different colors. This is pretty just a standard size blade here. And next I'm going to add the blade over the hook. It's going to butt up against that nose cone. And then finally, we need a piece that sits in the back here that's going to keep that blade turning freely, but separate it from our soft plastic. And you can use a bobber stop or a bait stop. And everybody knows bobber stops, just real little black bobber stop. This is a VMC black bait stop, and it's got a hole in it, and I'm going to get that hole, and I'm going to push it up over the shank of the hook. There it goes, gone over the shank of the hook. I'm going to push that thing all the way around, and I'm going to butt it up to the back of that blade. And now we've got a jig head with a blade that spins real freely, even makes a little sound. If you can hear that, little metal sound. And now we've got a spybait jig head. Finally, the last piece to this puzzle is the bait. And I love, for this technique, and I used to call it the no motion minnow, finesse minnow style baits. I love the Berkley Power Bait Twitch Tail Minnow or Pro Twitch Tail Minnow. Hand me that. Thank you. And, any of these little small minnow baits will work. 3, 4, 5 inches at the most. The Berkley Pro Twitch Tail has just this little tiny minnow tab tail. The fork tail baits work great. And you could thread this on there, but what I like to do is I like to nose hook that bait, just like you would a drop shot on that rig. So now that blade spins freely, comes through the water, makes a real subtle vibration, and that minnow bait in the back flows real natural. Doesn't have a lot of action, it's real subtle, just like a traditional spybait. Try this technique. It's an amazing technique for rod and reel and line. I throw it on a spinning rod. I throw it on an Abu Garcia Ike Series rod, either a 610 medium light or a 7-foot medium, a 20 size Abu Garcia spinning reel, and I love to throw this either on straight 6 or 8 pound fluorocarbon or with light braid to a really long fluorocarbon leader. This right here is 8 pound fire line to a 6 pound Berkeley Trilene 100% fluorocarbon leader. Let me tell you, real easy to make. The components are cheap. Get yourself a VMC, Ike approved wacky jig head, some of these Spybait components, your favorite soft minnow bait like the Berkeley Pro Twitch Tail, and you can catch them on the soft Spybait, just like me. Hope that helps. Good fishing, good luck from the shop. See you later.